What's up, guys? I'm Christian.
I'm Carlos.
And this is the Unexpert Analysis, episode 17, where we talk about a much anticipated film yet again.
Yes, and there was so much high hopes. We were waiting for this film for a long year.
At least a year.
Yeah, and it was shit.
Whoa, buddy. It was definitely ass.
Yeah.
The movie we're talking about today is Justice League.
Yes.
Obviously anticipated by most of you, all the fans around the world, and definitely by us because of the success of the recent Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
We had high hopes for this film.
Because
Wonder
of
Woman
Wonder Woman.
had definitely revived the DC universe
Yes.
to where it should be.
Yep.
Going throw for throw with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which is hard to do.
And we give major praise to Patty Jenkins and Gal Gadot because they stepped in and they brought the DC back to where it was, and then Justice League brought it back down to where it was before. So, I mean...
So obviously we did not like the movie, and now we're going to go into depth why not. But first we're going to talk about the box office a little bit, like always.
Yeah, so the budget for this film was $300 million. So the biggest...
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, the biggest budget for any film.
Think about this. Avatar, to go off track a little bit, down a little rabbit hole, they have $1 billion budget, but they're making 4 movies all at once. Justice League had 1 movie at $300 million.
Yeah.
It's tragic.
He's got the facts, people.
I try to stay woke.
Yeah.
Anyway, that leads us...
The box office was $286 million right now.
Which you think is good, but again, due to the budget.
Exactly, and $92 million over the weekend, so it's considered a box office flop with some box office mojo people, which I think it is, because I mean,
yeah.
But anyways, the Rotten Tomatoes score, if you want to talk about that.
Yeah, so Rotten Tomatoes, as always, is a good place to go to look for an idea of whether or not to see a movie. We don't always agree with it.
Never.
We try to steer away from it, but at times we do fall into line, which we did this time, because the Rotten Tomatoes is at a 41%. Very somber and low 41%.
Yeah.
And there's not much to say about it, but it does kind of line up to what we believe with the movie. And here's one. The directing.
Let's get on with the directing. It's Zack Snyder. He's back in action with this one. He's directed Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman, and 300 and Watchmen. A few other movies. And he had to step away for personal reasons with this film. And Joss Whedon took direction, and he made it even more shit because he took out Junkie XL.
Thanks, Josh.
Thanks a lot, man. And brought in Danny Elfman,
right?
The cheesiest, most
music
horrible music composer of all time.
Right. And Joss Whedon, you may know from the first 2 Avengers films, which he did an amazing job on, whether or not you liked him or not. But Marvel Cinematic Universe has a very different feel from the DC Universe. Dark to light, basically. And Joss Whedon tried to bring in some of that light, and I think he tried to bring in too much light, including the music score, including the acting and writing.
Yeah, it's DC.
Changing things.
It's DC. It's dark. It has to be. I mean, if you're gonna change this series, just don't, because it's DC.
Don't do it with Justice League.
It's Detective Comics. It's a dark comic. So I mean, anyways, the directing and everything. I mean, I give it a 5, honestly.
I'm gonna give it a 6 because there were some things I did enjoy, cinematography wise, but the directing in the film just was not that well. But we're gonna wait for the director's cut. Maybe we'll get more. So next we'll talk a little bit about the music score, which we touched on a little bit. I'll let you take that because that's very big to you.
Danny Elfman. He was, I think his most notable thing is the Batman, which with Michael Keaton and Tim Burton.
Okay.
So, as you can tell, if you guys have already seen this film, it's a little bit on the like, dun, 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 like a little...
What you expect from a superhero movie, but that's not what I want.
Yeah, because from Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman, and Wonder Woman, they had this such dark... score. Like it was like it intrigued you. It brought you into what
it was alive with.
Exactly. This one was way off. It felt so off in so many scenes for us, and so it just I didn't really like it.
No,
there were some parts that were like, okay, I see where he's trying to go, but once you get rid of Junkie XL and Hans Zimmer's work, that's where I get. That's where I just
where you get peeved.
Yeah, I get peeved right now. Like
livid.
I was very livid when I heard it.
Yeah. So music score, what do you give it out of 10?
I give it a 3. Or sorry, 2.
Jesus Christ. I'm gonna give it a 5. There are a few things I did like.
I am being very generous right now with
right. Because it was a great music score, but it did not line up very well with this movie. That's all I have to say about it. Writing and plot, as you may know if you've seen the movie. If not, you need to expect a lot of rushing.
Yeah.
A lot of rushing, a lot of gaps, a lot of stuff that doesn't line up, a lot of stuff that may not line up with other movies.
Yeah.
It seems like they're trying to recreate the universe yet again, and try to give it a whole new identity, and they failed in my opinion.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm gonna have to give the writing and plot. I give it a 5 because I did like some of the writing for some of the actors.
I give it a 3.
Jesus.
I'm being harsh, people. It's just I didn't like it.
Yeah. No, we're very disappointed. Acting.
I mean, acting was okay. It was there, but then sometimes it wasn't.
We had a lot of new faces.
Yeah, Cyborg, Flash,
Mm-hmm.
Ezra Miller. I liked him a lot.
Mm-hmm.
He's a great actor, as is prior to the Flash. You also have Gal Gadot, the beautiful, amazing Wonder Woman. She's always great in any film. So.
Yeah. And then you had Jason Momoa.
Batfleck.
Batfleck, as always.
Jason Momoa was amazing, and I like Jason Momoa. I want to see more of Jason Momoa.
Yeah, he was one of the things that I liked about the writing. They really wrote his character. I like Cyborg's character, although albeit he was a little moody.
Yeah.
I love Flash. The acting and the writing for them was done.
Yeah, very well. Yeah.
They were introduced into the universe very well. But still, overall, the acting, because I didn't like Ben Affleck all too much. I didn't like Henry Cavill as Superman this time around. I feel like he changed it.
And we know Superman's gonna be in there, so don't say, "Oh, spoilers." No, you know Superman's gonna come back. So I mean, come on, people.
Yeah, so I'm gonna give the acting a 7.
I'm gonna give it a 5.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
So that brings us to talk about the final act there, guy. The whole movie, albeit rushed, albeit not that great, is leading up to a final act. And we enjoy the final act because that's what solidifies the movie as either good or bad. Does it live up to the hype that the movie has generated up until now? And no, it didn't.
It didn't at all, because I mean, you got, like as we talked about before, rushed, and pacing felt weird. And then there's certain scenes in the final act where you're just like, that could have been longer, or that was in the trailer. So it was just like, I've already seen that. I don't want to see it. I want to see something different, you know. So, yeah.
I don't even remember how they killed the villain, which shows you how much of an impact it left on me.
Spoilers, much.
Well, you know what's gonna happen, okay? A lot of this movie is very it's predictable.
Yeah, exactly.
Super predictable superhero film.
Yeah.
If you've seen the trailers, you've seen a lot of the good points of the movie.
Yeah.
I feel like they just took all the good parts and put them in the trailer. But again, to go back to the final act, the CGI was horrible. This was some of the most expensive CGI ever spent on a film, and it looks very cheap, very cheesy. It looks like a made-for-TV movie that comes out on Sci-Fi.
And we saw Blade Runner 2049, and we were blown away.
You know the stuff is fake?
Yeah, and we're like, this is real. This is like,
it's possible.
It can be possible. But when we see this, it's like, no, get this out of my face. And we even compared it with Blade 2049 when we first saw the trailer with Justice League. We're like, how is Justice League, a comic book, based film, have such low CGI compared to Blade Runner 2049 with one film prior to it? So
that comes out of pure imagination.
Yeah.
They at least had something to work with,
yeah.
Even though it was cartoons and stuff like that. They had something to work with, like a drawing board to go to, and it looked very poorly and cheaply done. And I don't understand how they spent so much money. Maybe it was all to get rid of Henry Cavill's mustache.
Probably.
I don't know. But the final act again was it wasn't good. It was rushed again.
Yeah.
There was you didn't feel danger, you didn't feel scared, you didn't feel like, oh crap, if they don't beat him, the world's gonna end like you do in maybe other movies.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give the final act maybe a 5.
I'm give it a 4.
Son of a dick.
Yeah.
So obviously our scores are very low. It's gonna come into line nearby the Rotten Tomatoes score. Our scores added up together out of 10 each per category. It's gonna line up to an analysis score of
47. That's
which
right.
Isn't that great?
No, it's under a 50.
Right.
It's under a F.
Yeah, you would know about that.
Yeah, I would.
So, thanks guys for watching. We hope you give us a like, a share, and a comment down below.
And let us know what's your favorite DCEU film.
So far
is obviously Wonder Woman. And below that is Man of Steel.
Yeah.
So let us know. Leave a like and a comment. If you guys like this film, let us know. We definitely love to hear your guys' side of the story and side of your review. So anyways.
See you next time.